Hey there, Elizabeth here. Now, before we get into today's episode, I thought I would make sure you knew about the upcoming one word workshop. It's actually coming out this week on January 5th. It's a live workshop where you can carve out some time to relax and reflect on last year and discover your one word for this year, 2023. To find out more information, go ahead to theinspiredclassroom.com/one word workshop, all words, all together, no spaces, and go ahead and sign up. I can't wait to get started in that workshop on Thursday, and I hope to see you in there. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Inspired Classroom podcast. My name is Elizabeth Peterson, and I'm your host, and I'm really looking forward to talking to you about this topic of getting inspired and what that means for educators. And let me begin by saying how this whole idea of get inspired actually even came from, because when I was first starting out the Inspired Classroom and making the first rudimentary website back in 2005. Holy smokes. The idea of this whole idea about this word inspiring and inspired was really just kind of floating to the top of everything that I was kind of putting out at the time. It was mostly about arts integration and specifically music integration. And in order to get this book that I had just titled Inspired by Listening, my husband came up with the website name, The Inspired Classroom. So I knew I had to kind of keep with this whole idea of inspiration, right? Inspiration for teachers everywhere. And so the motto kind of naturally came out to be, get inspired, be inspiring. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means to get inspired. And then in the next episode, I'm going to focus in on what it means to be inspiring. So we're going to take that apart a little bit and kind of hone in on those things. So the first thing that I think is so important for all creative, caring teachers is to really think about why the terminology is get inspired. It's not be inspired, right? It's not, be in the state of inspiration. The first thing is all about getting inspired. It's not passive, it's active. And I think that more and more, it's important for educators everywhere to really take ownership of their position, their professionalism, their professional development, and go and seek out what's going to get them inspired. So thinking about anything, really, anything from, are there small classes that you might take? Is there some course that you want to invest time and money in? Are there people that you want to seek out and become friends with or become acquaintances with? Those are the ideas of being active in your own professional development, no matter what that professional development entails. Thinking about what is it that you actually need? Like, where are you in your career? And what is it that you really need to get yourself inspired again? It's really unfortunate how, especially right now, teachers are leaving the profession like crazy. And so I think this idea of actively going out and getting the inspiration that you need is just ever so more important. Because it's not being provided for us, right? It's not, we're not sitting in a professional development day and getting the inspiration that we necessarily need. Now, there are always exceptions, and there are always little blips of inspiration that we're able to pull out of our experiences, which is awesome when that does happen. But for the most part, what I hear from teachers, and I talk to teachers across the country and around the world about this stuff, what I find is that teachers are not getting the professional development and the experiences that they need from their school and their district, which is very unfortunate. And I think it definitely plays a part in teachers being uninspired and not staying in the job. And so when you can have that self-awareness of what it is that you need, then you go out and freaking get it. It's really that simple. For example, a number of years ago, there was a lot of talk about spelling. Okay, so I was teaching 4th grade at the time, and we went round and round and round about, are we going to use spelling lists? Are we going to use spelling from our reading curriculum? How are we going to give it as homework? Just all this talk. But nothing was actually being decided. And so I decided to take my fate into my own hands, so to speak, and I went out and I sought an online course that had to do with spelling, and it taught me how to approach spelling in a creative way so that my students weren't bored and I wasn't bored, and it just made spelling activities and such that were engaging and fun. It's what I needed. And I went ahead and I sought that out, and I got inspired by that so that I could then bring it to my students. A while ago, I used to talk about how you need to feed your flame, right? And I think that idea still stays so true. The idea that we have this little flame inside of us, and we need to feed it. We need to go out and find the things that are going to feed our flames, or else our flames are going to go out. And that is where burnout happens. That is where you start thinking about leaving the profession. And if we don't feed our own flames inside of ourselves, no one else is really going to. And so I want to bring it back to that self-awareness. What is it that you need? What are some of the things that are missing from what you're teaching? Whether it's parts of the content that you need to learn or understand. Is there something creative or artistic that you've been wanting to do? It could be as simple as attending a one-night paint night. It could be taking dance classes. What is something that's going to feed your flame? And I truly believe that even something like taking a dance class or attending a paint night is going to do so much for you in terms of getting inspired, that's what's going to lead into what we'll talk about next time, which is being inspiring for your students. Everything that you do for yourself lends itself to you being the best teacher you can be for your students. So what are some things that you might consider in order to get yourself inspired? Is it taking calligraphy? Is it looking for some creative professional development? Is it, inviting your friends, your teacher friends or your non-teacher friends to go out and learn something new? When we're learning something new and we're feeding our flame, we are getting ourselves inspired, and that can only do good moving forward. And of course, if you're interested in looking what types of professional development we have at the Inspired Classroom, I'll put the link down in the show notes for you to check those out as well. All right, so the question here, what are you going to do to get inspired? Take the action and go do it. All right, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will be talking to you again soon. Thanks so much for listening. My name's Elizabeth Peterson. Please be sure to subscribe, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you.